Look, John, this is a bad problem right now. But for some reason, I know what Victor done to Ronnie before, last couple of years. But for some reason now, I know there's a lot of few things happening to Ronnie. But Ronnie hasn't done nothing wrong but what he was thinking. But he's thinking about what he was taken from. But not less, unfortunately. But for some reason though, John, I know he did the right thing when he was done. So he make to understand how this is going to happen. But firstly, he didn't make everything what he was doing. So what he was trying to do is get everything what he was did. So I'm trying to say it doesn't really matter what he was doing. So I didn't tell him what he was trying to do, but what he's not trying to do is to get him out of his hands, or what he was doing. But not much less than the thought. But we're just thinking about it, what you were doing. They've said they didn't do anything what they done. They didn't do much time for what they done to the other side of the new cars buildings, but not really a construction. They construct every one of these buildings that they cannot do. But whatsoever, John, how did these things gonna happen then? What's the problem? Yeah, I thought so, Austin. I know there's a few things about Victor, but nothing exactly. But the real thing that it doesn't make everything matters, but nothing serious. But we're in a Happy New Year, 2021. But I guess it's not the real thing to ask. When I came alongside, but it doesn't really matter what they've done. Or something's going on with Victor. He tries to kill Ronnie for no reason. So I know this is unexpected to let this happen, but, a couple of years ago when Ronnie was nearly killed by Victor. But for some other reasons, but he doesn't make everything promised. But I have to say, but there is no promises, Austin, but no matter what he wants to tell. He can tell the truth. He can tell him the truth, nothing absolutely matters. But it doesn't matter though, Austin. He was just playing about why Victor did this to Ronnie on purpose. But actually, it's not the real thing to ask, but he's telling him what he gives everything respective, but maybe a compulsory, like compulsively making sure that it doesn't make everything up constantly. But for some other reasons though, but it's not an actual thing, it's like kind of spirit. But it contains some other reasons, but it's not kind of real thing question to you. But it's not a serious answer to me now, Austin. But nothing really, nothing serious. But nothing serious though, Austin. Never give up. Never ever give up, as I say. Do you understand me? But nothing serious though, John. But the reason why. But the only things he done. But nothing serious. So how did he done? But what's he done right now? But he didn't do anything on purpose. What I was trying to say to Victor is, no more money, no kindness. But he did not do it on purpose on my spire. But just imagine though, if Ronnie wasn't dead, he might be dead soon. But not tonight. What I was trying to say to him is, nope, I'm not going to die. I just want to be alive. But he didn't. But I was trying to say to him, nothing serious. So he didn't do anything on purpose, but I was trying to inspire how this is going to happen to Ronnie. So what were you going to say, John, if Victor did this to Ronnie on purpose? But nothing serious, though. But the only things we do, but nothing so. But nothing recently. I had to tell him that I talked to Victor, because I talked to Victor about what he's doing, about why. Was he telling him for what he did? But he did this to Ronnie constantly. Maybe by the accident or fatal. But he fatally tries to shoot Ronnie. But nothing really. Nothing serious. But seriously, nothing at all. But he didn't. Not unpleasant or nothing serious for unpleasant. But he didn't. But he did the right thing what you was doing. So I tried to telling him, why? Is that a joke? No? So, nothing serious? But actually, John, if he's nothing to do, but there is nothing to do about what he was taking it, but why he's taking it from. But the better idea now, John, is we know what he was exactly did this. I know why Victor exactly what he did this to Ronnie. But our Ronnie, I think, but our Ronnie. Nothing serious. He didn't doing it seriously. But actually, if it's not, we'll give it a quite unpleasant tax. But not an unpleasant tax, by the way, but nothing serious. But every celebrations for the whole time, celebrating the MWF, Modern World Federation. But anybody else who couldn't say anything what he's done for one day. But it doesn't really matter what he was doing. But it doesn't matter. While he doesn't, he gives everything what he was doing. But don't even think about it. I told Ronnie, don't even think about it. But what he's trying to say is, he gave up. He gave up right now. So he didn't do anything on purpose, so what he's doing it constantly. Well, what I was trying to say is, no, don't do this. Don't do this to me. But why you keep shooting at me? So why you just kind of less terrified or something. He's kind of less petrified. He's petrified or something. He's petrified of Victor, so he petrified of him. So why is he scared of? He's trying to scared of Victor. So why is he? He's vulnerable. I know Victor's invulnerable. I know Victor's always vulnerable to Ronnie, so he's always vulnerable. I know he's a bit like terrified, or I mean, Ronnie was terrified, but Victor is anxious, but nothing serious. But I had to tell him what he did this to, what Victor done to Ronnie. But Victor did this to him on purpose. But I cannot tell, John. I have to tell him. If he's not here before, but he's not here now, I'll have to call Ronnie back as soon as he calls me. Alright, John. By the way, John, so what you want me to do? Well, actually, Austin, you may have to give Ronnie an advice, so then he'll contact you as soon as he wants to give you that. So while he's understands you, you might give him back what he was doing. So first off, you might give him everything what he was doing. But actually, and I'm thinking about why he was taking care, why he was taking a strain. So the problem is now, Austin, he might give you a number. I'll tell you what, I'll call Ronnie and I'll give you the number. So he texted me a message, so I'm trying to handle your messages, but your messages can still maybe be reactive or something. I'll tell you what, Austin. What did you say? What you want you to do? Alright, I want you to take care of one of these SUV agencies and then kill all the gangs, such as the Medosman and the Mustang Cobras. The Mustang, the Medosman, the Steeballs, and the SUV agencies. And all the gangsters. I want you to send my gangsters the reinforcements so I can get a call for extraction. I'll tell you what, Austin. Maybe Ronnie can do whatever he wants to. Give him a bit of a less advice. So he might contact everything what he was doing. Bring him what he needed. So tell him that I'll get a phone call. So call out what he was taking a call. We'll make it respectful.